feel like there's something holding you back from achieving your dreams? Well, there might be, and it's called a limiting belief. These negative thoughts and attitudes can seriously constrain your potential and hinder your progress. Tara Sophia Moore, an expert on women's leadership, authored a brilliant article entitled Helping an Employee Overcome Their Self-Doubt, which you are required to read for this course. In this article, she says that it's not uncommon for employees to doubt themselves. We all have inner critics who have their basis in fear and anxiety. Moore said that acknowledging this inner critic, naming it, and choosing a more affirming inner voice helps overcome self-doubt. The idea here is to get to know your inner critic. Your inner critic is your inner saboteur. Remember, we talked about that. It's irrational, not realistic, and you have to notice what triggers it. Is the trigger a person, someone you work with? Is it someone who's super critical of your talents? Once you notice it, you can begin to make changes. You can then begin working on a plan to manage it. The words that you say to yourself shape your reality and your future. What drives your saboteurs are your habits of thinking that may have developed in your early life, cultural messages, or at work. These habits are survival strategies that keep us safe. Our saboteurs are gifts that can help us be successful. For instance, my saboteurs are hyperachiever and pleaser. More often than not, I've worked much harder than everyone else and developed good interpersonal skills because I wanted people to like me. This has gotten me ahead in everything that I've done, leading me to be really a workaholic and an inability to say no. To this day, I'm working on my saboteurs. However, it's become such an ingrained habit, and this negative root cause was the need for recognition and to be liked and loved. The trick is to be able to label what's going on. To manage your saboteurs, listen to your self-talk, your language, and your thoughts. Notice and label your saboteur. For instance, here goes my hyperachiever again talking to me. Ask yourself, what is your saboteur protecting you from? Is it a fact, feeling, or fiction? Is it true or not? I'm now going to share a general process for minimizing or limiting your shadow beliefs or saboteurs. I learned this while working for a company that used neuroscience to help its executives and leaders succeed. The first step is to identify and recall your leadership aspiration. Focusing on your positive future helps rewire your brain, and there's research on that. Secondly, identify the limiting beliefs or assumptions that don't work for you and how they impact your behavior. You really have to watch. If you spend some time doing the required thinking and noticing, you'll have an aha moment and why these beliefs aren't true. Then substitute this belief with a more empowering belief. Try out some new behaviors and push through the discomfort. Be sure to track your progress and then repeat the process. You're going to be amazed at how effective this process is. Let's understand this with a mini case. Emma is the oldest daughter of immigrants who excelled in academics, sports, and all aspects of her family and school life. She was a straight A student with a bachelor's in engineering and an MBA. She worked as an engineer and excelled at all her projects, and she kept getting bigger and better projects because she demonstrated exceptional technical skills. She was named the leader of a critical company project and worked day and night. She was then promoted to manager, and her group met all the targets. However, her direct reports complained that she micromanaged them and called them out for errors. She even called one of her direct reports at his home and yelled at him for errors. Emma was then called into a meeting with her boss, and her job was clearly in jeopardy. Here's a question for you. What limiting beliefs do you think might be operating here? Pause this video and think about it. There are no right or wrong answers. Here's a general process for minimizing limiting beliefs applied to Emma. She identifies and recalls her leadership aspirations. She wants to be an inspirational leader, respected, valued, and promoted. She identifies that her limiting belief or assumptions aren't working for her. She identifies that if she's not the smartest person in the room, she will not be safe. That's a huge aha for her. As a result, she speaks up in every meeting about how much she knows and ensures everyone understands that she's the smartest person in the room. Her aha moment was when she realized it wouldn't be catastrophic if she weren't the smartest person in the room. Her more empowering belief was being smart is not enough. I must allow others to shine. Her new behavior was to let others speak up first in meetings and ask more questions rather than telling and showing off how smart she was. Let's look at another mini case of James. James is a middle son, very popular, who excelled in academics and sports. He has a bachelor's in finance and an MBA. He worked as an analyst and excelled at all of his projects. He got along very well with everyone and was well liked. James was approachable and people feel safe with him. He had some excellent ideas, although only shared those ideas with a small number of people. Some of his peers took his ideas and got promoted. He was finally promoted to supervisor. James, again, was well liked, and yet his team wasn't getting results. He was then called into a meeting with his boss. His boss was concerned about the results, and James didn't hold people accountable. So, according to your thoughts, what limiting beliefs might be operating here? Pause this video again and think about it. There are no wrong answers. The general process to minimize limiting beliefs when applied to James is first, he is clear that his leadership aspiration is to be known as a leader who gets results and develops his people. His limiting belief or assumption that is not working for him is if I'm not liked, I'll be all alone. This results in him not discussing or confronting employees with performance issues and letting things slide. His aha moment is the realization that it won't be catastrophic if everybody doesn't like him. In fact, he realizes that will never happen. His empowering belief is, I'm not responsible for how other people feel or live. His new behavior is to call out performance issues within 24 hours of noticing them, doing that respectfully and objectively. To conclude, it's important to note that our brains come equipped with remarkable features that keep us safe and alert us of any incoming danger. They allow us to learn and change at any age. They help us focus on goals. Our brains can tap into optimism instead of pessimism. They make decisions that enable us to move forward. Our brains can help us tap into inner motivation and monitor bodily sensations to identify triggers. We just need to know these features of our brains and access them to our benefit.